I heard someone say that you have to apply to 100 jobs to get at least one response, and that is the worst advice I've ever heard. Because what? 100 jobs? The recruiter told her once she landed the job that 4,000 candidates applied for the position as well, and she was their #1 pick. Welcome back to my channel, where I teach high achievers how to land new jobs they love at companies they love. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you exactly how to do that. If you're new around here, then you should know that I've helped high achievers in dozens of industries, from marketing to engineering to PR to tech, HR, and so many different industries they love. And they've gone from where you probably are now to landing amazing interviews and job offers at top companies like Google, HBO, Macy's, iHeartMedia, TikTok, BP, and so many other agencies, startups, and Fortune 500 companies. So if your top goal for 2021 is to land a new job you'll love, then you're definitely going to want to grab a notebook and a pen, and let's get started. And if you want to take your job search up a notch and work with me, then you're going to want to stick around until the end, where I'll share more details on how I can personally help you implement the strategies that I'll be sharing today. And to make this even more fun, I'm going to share with you how my client Bria used these exact strategies to land a senior role at iHeartMedia in the middle of a pandemic. And she was even able to make a massive salary leap as well in her new position. And I'll share with you what happened and how that happened later. Before you get to thinking that you can do this too, let me let you know right now that she, like many of my clients, had no secret connections, no uncle who's a CEO at a major company. She didn't have some abnormal confidence in herself when we started working together, and she did not live in a big city that was just raining with job opportunities. But I am going to tell you what she did and what you can do too to make this happen for yourself as well. Number one, you need to get crystal clear on what you want to do next. I know you probably heard people say you have to stay open because you never know what kind of opportunities can fall in your lap, don't close yourself off, but really you are not Motel 6 and you do not need to stay open. Getting crystal clear on what you want to do next actually expands your opportunities. Rather than you just searching for random keywords, you're able to search for precise things that align with what you're looking for, and you're able to discover more companies and more roles that allow you to do the responsibilities that you really are interested in. One of the best ways to get clear on what you want to do next is to window shop. This is one of the methods I teach in my Career Redefined framework. It is one of the things that helps you go from lost and open to very clear on where you want to be and where you can make an impact. And the way that you window shop is to really do what it says, window shop. Rather than feeling the pressure of having to apply to every job you see, really start to take inventory of what's out there and what really aligns with you. Take a step back from that pressure of just thinking you have to go and apply, and really think about what the jobs that you're finding are asking for, and if it really fits the bill for what you want to do. This will help you become more aware rather than just open to every opportunity. You want to be aware of what is out there, but you don't have to be open to everything and take whatever you can get. This was the first step that Bria took. She got crystal clear on what she wanted to do in the marketing industry and where she could make the best impact right now. And she stopped talking herself into jobs and focused on becoming the best person for the roles that she wanted. After you get crystal clear clarity on where you want to go next and the right career move for you, then you next need to discover your undeniable value. Before you can convince someone else to hire you, you must first convince yourself. It starts with you. This is a major key because you can edit your resume 10 times, you can talk to all the people, you can have many interviews, but if you don't really believe in your value or discover it, don't know what it is, then you're gonna have a hard time getting to the finish line and getting hired. Or worse, when you do get the job that you want, you're gonna end up feeling lucky to be there rather than knowing that you deserve to be there. I'll talk about this in my other video on how to deal with imposter syndrome, so if that's something that you struggle with, then you're definitely going to want to check that video out. So when it comes to discovering your undeniable value, you first need to understand what the job needs and how you fit their needs. When you discover how you fit their needs specifically and the specific things that you bring to the table, that's when you really begin to unlock your undeniable value that you can use in your interviews, in your resume, in your LinkedIn profile, in your networking conversations, applications and all over the job search process so that you can show up as the asset that companies are looking for right now. In my Career Redefined coaching program, I teach my clients how to do this step by step with my triple threat cheat sheet so that they can no longer second guess themselves and have clear examples on what they bring to the table and not just what they're good at. Doing this step helped Bria go from not sure about herself to feeling very confident, and it also helped her stop playing small and really go after the major companies that she was interested in, because she was able to see what she really brought to the table. And from there, it helped improve her resume, her LinkedIn profile, her networking conversations, her interviews, and everything else. Once you discover your undeniable value, you then need to know how to bypass the competition. If your only method for landing a new job is applying online every single day to as many jobs as possible, you are doing yourself a disservice. I heard someone say that you have to apply to 100 jobs to get at least one response, and that is the worst advice I've ever heard when it comes to landing a new job, because what? 100 jobs for one, that is not even a good return on investment. And so if that is your strategy, then you are wasting your time. If you really want to bypass the competition, you need to tap into the hidden job market, and you need to learn how to reach out to hiring managers directly so that they actually want to respond to you. A lot of times people solely apply online because they feel like they don't know anyone and they feel awkward reaching out to people. They feel awkward networking. It really is not about knowing everyone. It's about knowing the right people or creating the relationships with the right people. If you struggle with building the right relationships with the right people, or if you don't know who to connect with, then I recommend searching for people who have already accomplished a goal that you want to accomplish. So maybe they're looking to land a senior role at a new company similar to what you want to do, or maybe they have made a transition from one industry to the next industry that you want to be a part of. It may not be as specific as that, but you want to start looking for people who have achieved a goal that you want to achieve so that you can reach out to them in a genuine, thoughtful, and authentic way and have a conversation about how they got to where they are. But I have one rule of thumb: only connect to people who you would want to talk to even if you weren't looking for a new job. That is the best way to ensure that you are being genuine and thoughtful in your approach and in your conversations. As I mentioned earlier, Bria had no connections. She didn't know anyone in her new industry. By the way, Bria wanted to make a career change from the industry she was in to the entertainment industry. And even though she had great marketing experience, she also did not have major connections in the entertainment industry, and that made her question if she could really make this happen. But she used my email templates and the strategies that I'm sharing with you, and she was able to build connections with amazing people in the entertainment industry. She was able to reach out to hiring managers directly and get responses, and she was able to really bypass the competition. Okay, on to number 4. You have to confidently and consistently communicate your value. So if you recall step 2, I talked about how you have to discover your undeniable value, but it is not enough to just discover it. You have to know how to communicate it, and you have to be willing to communicate it over and over and over again. You cannot assume that the hiring manager will remember your experience just because you've made it to the interview process. Even after you go from the second to the third interview, you have to consistently communicate your value. Don't assume that because you keep going up and up and up in the hiring process that you do not have to repeat yourself. You do, and you should. Regardless of how many interviews you have at one particular company, you have to drive home your value like it is your first opportunity and your last chance. One of the best ways to do that is through my close the loop method, and I have a video of that right up here. My close the loop method and my interview strategies in my Career Redefined program helped Bria beat out 4,000 candidates for the position that she landed. But it does not stop there. I'm gonna tell you what happened after she landed the job, and it has to do with gathering your coins. Once you land the job, you also should do your best to secure a top dollar salary with your new role. One of the best ways to give yourself the best chance of landing a top dollar salary with your new position is to focus on revealing your value and not your salary expectations in the interview process. I know it can be super awkward avoiding talking about money in interviews, especially when the interviewer wants to know what your salary expectations are. But do your best to provide the most graceful and politically correct answer. Wait till you know that you're their #1 pick before you start talking money. And when it comes to negotiating, you want to negotiate based on your value and not your needs. But the key here is to remember to gather your coins and play at a level that pays, which means to go after jobs that are paying at the level that you want to make, so that when you do get the offer, you already know that the salary matches what you're looking for. Following my negotiation strategies and my money talks guide in my Career Redefined program, Bria was able to secure a $40,000 salary increase in her new position. Yes, I said $40,000. And yes, again, this was in the middle of a pandemic. And to make it even more sweeter, when she even used my strategies to negotiate, the company initially offered her $25K more than what she was making in her previous job. But because she knew to negotiate, she asked for more. And they were willing to give her even more than what they initially offered, which brought her salary increase to $40K in her new position. And so if you're like, oh my gosh, would that ever be possible for me? Yes, why not? But it started with getting crystal clear on what she wanted, getting clear on her undeniable value, learning how to bypass the competition, and communicating her value confidently and consistently. These are all things that you can master too, and I've shared with you some practical things that you can implement right now to master those 5 things. And if you want to learn how you can work with me to implement these 5 strategies without any guessing, then you're going to want to head to employeeredefined.com, read the page that I'm showing you right now, and if it sounds like the right fit for you, go ahead and apply, and we will be in touch from there. In my next video, I'll be sharing tips on how to improve your interview skills. So if you want to learn how to do that, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. And while you're still here, comment below and let me know what was your biggest takeaway from this video. What did you learn? What do you know that you need to work on now? I would love to hear from you. See you in my next video.